Here's our Sunlight T69L from Savonia Caravan, so let's go explore Finland. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah. Well, good morning from our campground here in Helsinki, Finland. Before we leave towards the Lapland, some housekeeping is in order here. More specifically, dumping the cassette toilet. And excuse my clumsiness, but it's only my second time doing it. Off I go to the dump station. I promise I'll show you how it's done before the trip is over. Let's head over to the grey water dump station first, which is basically a hole on the ground. Okay, this is how you dump the grey water. And this is how you fill up the water. The fresh water.
Then turn left onto the ramp to Vuosaaren Keskusta.
Did you get that? Neither did I. The GPS lady is obviously talking to me in English, but the street names are in Suomi, and this language, at least for English speakers, is very hard to understand.
Turn left onto the ramp to Vuosaaren Keskusta, then merge onto Norwegian.
I still have a map on my phone to glance at, and I'm actually more comfortable sometimes at following that than listening to the verbal commands. I'm more of a visual kind of guy. But actually, this is one of the most alluring aspects of traveling overseas, trying to figure out how to navigate in a different language, different rules, different customs. It is fascinating. Look how many street lamps they have over the highway. I guess to bring light to the long, cold winter nights, perhaps? I'm just guessing here. Check out this tunnel, how cool it looks inside with just a bare rock exposed. As we'll soon find out, a lot of tunnels in this area of the world are like that. Always very well lit though. On this very first leg of the trip, we're just driving a little over half an hour to the nearby town of Porvoo. I'm just getting used to driving the Ducato here. I haven't driven stick shift in over 10 years, but apparently it's just like riding a bicycle. You never really forget it. Well, this is it, Porvoo. As we cross the Porvoojoki here. Now, let's try and find parking. This looks promising. I see a big P. Let's see where that leads. Yep, I'll take it. I think this will be fine. We are Porvoo. Let's explore a little bit. Macchiato. This place, very nice, and our house is right there. Porvoo, by the way, is the second oldest town in Finland, founded in 1380. Let's walk towards the old town. Cool, check it out, an old Citroën truck. Many of the houses here in Old Town date back to the 18th and 19th centuries. And it is a real town, not just for tourists. People actually live here. This here is one of the main streets, very touristy, with all kinds of boutiques and cafes, a museum. Here we have a house, sideways, and the building that used to be the city hall, nowadays the city museum. And here's the river. We continue walking. We're going to walk on this road here, uphill, to reach the cathedral. Very old cobblestones. A little disoriented here. Here we are, almost at the top. This here is the Kirkkotori, or Church Square. It's a small cathedral here. Yeah, it doesn't have that grandiose image that you associate with other cathedrals, but let's check it out anyways. It is supposed to be the top thing to do here in Porvoo. It is one of the oldest and largest cathedrals in the whole country. Some parts actually date back to the 11th century, and we get a little bit of a view of the river from up here. Lucky for us, they're gonna have an organ concert and it's going to begin here in a few minutes. We might not be able to stay for the whole thing, but how timely is that for us, huh? The building itself has been through a lot over the years. It was originally a Catholic church. Then during the Reformation, they just removed some icons, painted over some murals, and voila, now we are Protestant. It burned to the ground 4 times between 1300 and 1700. It was even hit by a bomb during World War I. And the roof, someone set it on fire again in 2006. So after all that, I wonder what's really left from the 11th century, but if they say so, it must be true. The organ concert is definitely one of those things that are very hard to plan, and you are grateful when they happen serendipitously like this. Well, let's continue exploring a little bit here on our way back to the RV, going through the narrow cobblestone streets. Very cool town, we liked it, would have loved to stay longer. And we are, as usual, a little pressed for time. We are meeting up with the viewer for lunch, and then with our friend Petteri for dinner. Our coffee shop, and we have to name our European RV. Off we go to Vitali's house.
Continue for 2 kilometers.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah. Vitali and his mom Valentina are viewers of the channel and very graciously invited us to lunch at their home here. Well, here we are at Vitali's house, and well, I want to thank him first of all for the hospitality of inviting me here to his home.
Thank you for coming.
It's a very beautiful home here. Vitali?
My great pleasure, and I look forward to see you again here.
Well, definitely, we'll return, and that's his mom over there. And we've been watching travel videos, and he fed me, and well, I want to thank him. And now we continue the journey.
And I have the energy to go all these thousands of miles that you have ahead of you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
They have a beautiful home, beautifully decorated, and Vitali is working on a very innovative startup called deskme.com. Well, till we meet again.
All right, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, Vitaly's company is really cool. You can reserve a desk in an office space by clicking on this 3D office map. Looks very cool, and he explained the technology behind it, and it is actually a very good idea for travelers because sometimes you need a comfortable space to work with good internet while on the road. Speaking of the road, we are on it again on our way to the town of Varkaus, where our host, friend Petteri, well, that's where he lives and we're gonna hang out tonight. I just noticed one thing. In the USA, all the semi-trucks have a big nose in the front where the engine is, and here they're all flat in the front. That's a curious difference in design, I think. Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, and 'cause I'm free in my RV. Here in Finland, I've seen lots of cars towing these small trailers with a plastic cover. I wonder what the deal is with those. And it seems like the weather is improving, thankfully. 'Cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. Yeah, let's follow that RV. We're probably going to the same place.
In 600 meters, turn right onto Puslintai. Continue on Puslintai for 2 kilometers.
Our campground here is located at the Kontoranta Hotel and Spa, on the shores of Lake Komiselka, very close to Petteri's home and downtown Varkaus. And here we are. Let's go and check in. Here's a trail, very nice, and overall a very quiet and peaceful place here.
And there's nice houses on the other side of the lake.
Yeah, that's part of residential Varkaus. I am fascinated by the clouds at these latitudes. They seem different somehow. And don't be fooled by the daylight. It is 8 p.m. here in early June, and that's the Oscar, where we are going to have dinner tonight. But first, Petteri and his wife give us a quick tour of their hometown. Although, this was one of those instances when I was more in the moment and didn't really shoot a whole lot of video. We did take some pictures at the Oscar with Petteri, his wife Annie, and his friend and partner Tommy. Ili and I had a great time sharing with them, getting to know each other. And one of the best hamburgers I've ever had, all the way here in Finland. Once again, I want to thank Petteri for inviting us to his great country. By the way, it is like 11 p.m. Well, hello everybody, and greetings from the Kontoranta campground here in Varkaus, Finland.
Well, here we have the Finnish staple, which is the sauna. And let me see if I can show you how it works. It's locked right now, but what you do after getting out of the sauna, you come running down this path towards the lake. And here you jump into the freezing cold water. And then you come out, go back to the sauna, and repeat.
Let's go into the main office to find out where the dump station is located. There's singing in here. And there seems to be an Irish pub. Too bad we're leaving. There is an indoor pool with a slide, a soccer field, and beautiful views of the lake. And there's a beautiful view of our camper, which we have christened Savonia. And now, time for the daily chore of emptying the cassette toilet. And that's where you deposit, the stuff.
Looks like I missed the spot by just an inch or so. We continue towards the Lapland.
Check out the family of little ducklings crossing the street. Very, very cute. Let's fill up with diesel. We found this place where you can get propane. And now we're looking for a supermarket, preferably one with an Alco next to it.
Then turn right onto Kankatu.
Whoa, that's a lot of syllables. We're going to this supermarket here called the Little, but if we're going to park on the street, we're going the wrong way. Okay, much better, this will do. We've got an Alco and a Little. What else could we possibly ask for? Let's get our cart. By the way, in order to get a shopping cart, you have to deposit €1 or some other coin to release it, and then you get your euro back when you return the cart. Well, now that we have enough provisions to survive a week in the tundra, not really, the journey continues, but before that, let's go for a quick cruise around Varkaus here. Yeah, we drove around here last night, if you can call that twilight night, with Petery, but I wanted to see it again. See, another one of those trailers with the plastic top? They seem to be very popular. There are all these multicolored flowers on the side of the road. Maybe I'll get a better shot further north.
As it usually is, more the norm than the exception. We are again behind schedule here, going north towards Rovaniemi in the Lapland region of Finland. And we're late, doesn't really matter, we're gonna see as much as we can. And the good thing is that it doesn't get dark until really late, so I'm gonna drive and drive. There's this city called Oulu, and there's another place after that. Should be fun.
Yeah, check out all these flowers on the side of the road. It kind of reminds me of the fireweed in Alaska. We are going to stop at the next city here called Kuopio and try to get an inverteri, which is how you say inverter in Suomi, because it looks like we're going to be boondocking a lot and we need to charge our devices using the house battery. And here we are. Ili, my navigator, found this store called Motonet. They sell all kinds of automotive stuff, including inverters.
We're going to try and get an inverter here at Motonet. Motonet and bought an inverter, so now we've got power. And I got me an energy drink, just, you know, for an emergency.
Even though Savonia here doesn't have solar panels or generator, we're going to be driving daily, so it should stay pretty well charged throughout the trip, even charging the phones, the computer and the cameras nightly.
Oh, by the way, up here it may not look like it, but we are at the same latitude as Denali National Park in Alaska, or Iceland, more or less, the same latitude in the world. So we're getting really up there to the north.
Even though we are inching closer and closer to the Arctic Circle, it doesn't feel very remote at all. There are small towns and services every few kilometers, although I suspect they will become further and further apart the norther we get. We changed direction here at Isalmi, and I'm getting tired. Okay, let's take a break.
We're gonna take a break here. I do believe that in all these parking areas on the side of the road, you're allowed to overnight, you know, boondock if you really have to. Nobody is going to bother you. They have a law here called every man's right or something like that. So basically, as long as you don't bother the property or the environment or what have you, I don't know exactly how it works, you are allowed to stay. And that's what I might do tonight later on. By the way, it's getting really chilly. Out here it's like 6 degrees Celsius. I'm getting used to Celsius. I'm getting used to kilometers. As you saw, I got my groove back on driving stick shift. Yeah, it's been so far a very nice trip, and the trip is just getting started. We're gonna stop now at this town called Oulu. I think it's right on the coast, very close to Sweden actually. Beautiful countryside here in Finland, and well, we'll continue on the road. Check out lots of truck at this time. By the way, it is like 9 p.m. or something like that.
In my original plan, we were going to make it all the way to Rovaniemi today by the Arctic Circle. How funny am I? We'll be lucky if we make it to Oulu. But hey, that's why we don't really make reservations or have rigid plans, because they always change. This particularly straight and wide stretch of highway here is the Rotimojoki Highway Strip, designed to serve as an auxiliary runway for military aircraft. It is like the eternal twilight, the sun that never sets.
It is 10 p.m. 1 more hour to go. And we'll call it a night. Flat night.
RV dealer perhaps? But now it looks like they are repaving the road. I'm too tired for this. You see, I almost missed my exit. Here we are, Oulu, and we found this boondocking spot using an app. It is called Motorhome Parkings, and it links to the camper contact website. It is by no means complete, but it lists some motorhome parkings like this one where we're staying at tonight, also regular campsites and service areas, which are basically places to empty the grey water, the chemical toilet, and to get fresh water. This one here is just a free parking lot at this marina just 1 kilometer from downtown. Most of the reviews are in other languages, but there is a translate button. Handy.
Well, I really think we hit the jackpot here. This is our boondocking spot for the night here in Oulu, Finland. It is 11:30 p.m. And yes, it's still light out. I think sunset is supposed to be at midnight. We have some neighbors, but you know, everybody's very quiet. 6 degrees Celsius here in Oulu, Finland. Well, we're gonna go to sleep and we'll continue on the road tomorrow.
I think I've earned my IPA. From Isalmi, we passed by there today. Well, good morning.
Oh, it's a rainy morning here in Oulu. Like, I know it is breakfast time and we're gonna make some breakfast. Oh, here on our sunlight, some scrambled eggs because it's all we have. Oh, by the way, got some instant coffee. Finnish eggs. You know they're hard. Finlandia cheese, by the way. And let's eat.
While we're here, let's go by downtown real quick, although with this weather I don't think we're going to be able to do much. There's a big parking lot, but no, let's just park on the street.
Parked here in downtown Oulu. It is raining, very bad weather today. But I want to show you something here in downtown Oulu. By the way, this probably gets very nice, a happening place later in the day. A lot of outdoor cafes here in the summer. Unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating today, but this is a very famous statue here of this police officer. And we're just gonna check it out and then back to the RV because the camera is getting wet. Right here in Oulu.
Yeah, I think we're going to explore Oulu on the way back. Let's continue. The Arctic Circle awaits. That's an interesting way of driving, I guess. People treat the road as if there was a third lane in the middle. Seems kind of dangerous under these weather conditions. You see, that's a practice I had never seen before, and apparently it is widespread here because everybody seems to be doing it. And this is the thing, there is a law here that semi-trucks are limited to 80 kilometers per hour, which in my opinion is ridiculously slow, but they must have a reason for that, right? Then RVs are limited to 100. Now, in many places, the speed limit can be as high as 120, so it's natural that passenger cars will want to pass you, so yeah, makes total sense. Different countries, different rules, but that's why we travel, right? I wonder what's going on. Apparently the road is closed.
Hello.
Rovaniemi, is there another route?
You have to go to... Where are you going?
Rovaniemi.
You can drive to Tornio and that way.
Tornio?
First Tornio and then to Vojakkala and then to Rovaniemi.
Okay.
Yes.
Tornio. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
The GPS doesn't know how to handle this, doesn't show any alternate routes, and I totally forgot what she said after Tornio, so we'll take it one intersection at a time.
Oh, the road to Rovaniemi is closed, so we have to seek an alternate route, and I'm not sure exactly what the police officer told me, so I forgot the name of one of the cities.
Turn left onto Riksvägen, Valtie T.
We'll make it there someday.
The good news is that it stopped raining. Darn, I spoke too soon. And it is like sleet, I guess? I've never seen slits before, but it certainly fits the description. Blue skies, sort of, and rain again. And 10 minutes later, beautiful weather. I'm telling you, the weather is kind of crazy up here. You can see it change before your very eyes. It's surreal. We are getting close to Rovaniemi, home of Santa Claus and the Arctic Circle.
That's the Arctic Circle right there.
Turn left at Taatakuya, then you will arrive at your destination.
We're going under it.
Yay, it is great to be here, but first things first. The red light on the cassette toilet has turned on again. And it is a nasty job, but someone's gotta do it. Maybe we're doing it wrong, but it's like a daily thing for us. And at this location, it's just a manhole on the ground. That's new.
It has to be.
It certainly doesn't look like rain. Maybe it is lit, but since we've never seen it before... In any case, it is very emotional for us to see this type of precipitation. Let's go see Santa Claus.
Here we are. And we're parked exactly at the Arctic Circle.
On the next video, we are going to explore around here a little bit, and then we continue our journey north through the Lapland region of Finland all the way to Norway. My videos are made possible in part by the support of viewers like you, so do me a favor, if you liked it, share it with your friends, spread the word. And for more options, go to travelingrobert.com/support. As always, thank you so much, and see you on the road.